I thought the gold was based on Sentry. Never mind. Anyways, they go on Enchantress. She just simply walks away, and everybody else on the Unique side can't do much else. They wanted a Tidebringer cleave, but he's not going to skill like Torrent or something, right? So their level 1 just wasn't nearly as strong there, and Unique got a little bit ahead of themselves with that engagement.
That's like the dream, though, for a Crystal Maiden to get all 4 people with that one Nova.
Yeah, it feels good, and it certainly helps, but they didn't have all their heroes there, and they didn't have the best level 1, and that's why ES Monaco Gambit went for that 5-man smoke.
All right, well, the block is on here, going off on the mid lane. No one looking like he's very much in control of his side.
It looks like Wraith King is lane swapping. Yeah, they're going to lane swap right away. He got about halfway to his tier 2, and then he just ditched. He's like, JK, changed my mind. Well, this courier might get sniped here by the Crystal Maiden. Very likely. It's just going to be a sentry for Enchantress. Yep, and that is going to go down. So that'll make it a little bit harder for them to de-ward here. Very deep wards placed by the Dire team as well. They want to spot... not quite sure. Probably just spot couriers. Just a new place to spot couriers without it being de-warded, likely.
Well, I mean, that is something that a Nyx Assassin really does enjoy doing, being able to go and put those pressure down. But
so they're gonna Gambit's gonna end up with Enchantress versus the Beastmaster, which is what they want. Beastmaster starts with Wild Axes to offset that a little bit, as we've seen before. And then the top lane is now Underlord versus Lifestealer. But they're going to start with the tri-lane here. This is a little dangerous here for Afterlife if they do choose to go on him.
Looks like he's just going to hang back and play it very, very safe for now. But that is going to allow Palantimos to get a lot of free farm here. A little bit of trading here with Immersion. Throw down the Nova, get a couple clicks off. It's a nice Impale, though. We'll stun up both of them. But they're just being annoying, obviously, in that top lane, making space for the Lifestealer.
Got his HP lower, and he doesn't have any tangos left, so it's okay, but not the best so far. On the mid lane, no one's doing great. 10-1 versus Kunkka 7-0, but approximately even. There are a lot of denies coming from the lifesteal. That's one good thing going on. Palantimos has 7 denies already against Afterlife, definitely making his lane hard. Now with level 2 picked up, he's got the free built-in Orb of Venom effectively, and he's got Feast, so his lane staying power is going to be huge. He blocks the small camp.
Yeah, just a little bit of trading back and forth, too, between the Nyx and the CM. This is a really hard game for this Nyx, it feels like. Not a whole lot that he can get done up here.
Yeah, this is what happens when a hero is popularized so much. It's like every game you play against him, people get really good at exploiting their weaknesses, knowing how they're going to play, and because top players are almost always going to stick to those same kind of patterns because they're just more efficient. So yeah, you're going to see these smart reactions against it. And it's also picked first, so they have the entire draft to prepare for it and to be ready to fight it. So it's like, just a matter of time basically against good players.
In some cases, though, is it worth it to be just a little bit like weirder with your movements? You talk about, the fact that these players, especially the pro players, they know that this is the most efficient, but if they're being hindered by that efficiency, is it even still worth it?
That's a decent thought to go through, but the problem is that it's the early game, and there's only so much you can do.
Right.
You need to stabilize the lane for your Underlord, you need to get pulls. All that stuff is very figured out and straightforward, and that's why Unique is being so careful here blocking camps, for example. If they keep blocking the small camp, then that means Nyx Assassin is forced to try to zone these 2 supports, which is dangerous. Afterlife might be in trouble now, though.
Yeah, this is not looking super great for him right now. Throw down the Firestorm, and they get the Impale off, but they also have the Frostbite, and they should be able to get Palantimos that kill here in the top lane. So, tri-lane's working out pretty well for the side of Unique so far.
Yeah. And I love this fast Orb of Venom pickup that Lifestealer went for. A lot of the Lifestealers we see, they don't end up buying this because they think like, it's okay, I don't really need it. But against a hero like Underlord who can't fight to the death, it's perfect when they have this tri-lane situation.
Did have a little bit of the rotation down here. Not quite enough damage, though, to take out Sneko. So Slayer is forced to go hug his tower.
Not bad.
Yeah, they gave Palantimos a decent start here, especially with making sure that they got that kill, so...
Yeah, exactly. And like anytime Afterlife runs up, he's going to get slapped like 6 times, so.
4-minute rune comes up. Pikachu snatches it out from underneath the nose of no one.
Good torrent there. Guarantees him the rune. Merchant's still struggling for experience too. Just picked up level 2 himself, but he will get a small pull-off finally. So, good for him to start the game finally.
Now, I know they said that it's going to be kind of a difficult thing here for Afterlife to lane. How much of that has been not alleviated, but like how much of that is still an issue for him? Because they said, he can only die a couple times before he just doesn't have a game.
Yeah, one upside is that Lifestealer won't really do that much damage to him. Like, Lifestealer's sustain is great, his slow is good early game, but his damage isn't insane. So basically what's going to happen is he's just going to get out-traded almost every single time he comes forward like this. He'll just get slapped a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But luckily he's also gotten levels because Emergent has been stacking his own levels. So what it'll turn into is you just come up and you Firestorm the wave basically, Palantimos will deny some of it, and then you go back to jungle if possible. But like they pointed out in the panel right before they cut to us, it's still not going to be as fast as what Beastmaster can do. So it's going to be a rough time for Afterlife for sure.
Well, it's just easier to get things done with a Beastmaster, especially because of the fact he is meta, the fact he is going to be grabbing up those Necro books.
Yep. You can just farm more rapidly. You have to Firestorm every camp that you work on as an Underlord, whereas Beastmaster has a lot more uptime for his damage because it's summons. So it just becomes easier for him to always feel like he's doing something, pretty much. Mid lane's dead even, so pretty straightforward there, but 6s are up, so we'll see if they think about rotating with runes or otherwise.
Yeah, it feels like, I don't believe... Oh, no, never mind. Pikachu does still have a full bottle. So I saw that the Nyx Assassin made his way over to the top rune spot earlier and snapped that up. But...
I mean, if these side lanes are fine, and they do feel that way for Unique, especially with Phase down Lifestealer, he's very difficult to kill. He's going to be content with his lane. He doesn't really need a gank. That could mean that Pikachu gets to just stick mid lane. He's going to get pressured here, though.
Yeah, this is nice. The rotation for that 6-minute rune. Have that Remnant here. Torrent will connect, though. Over onto no one. They've got backup. There's a lot of supports coming in. Ghost Ship getting dropped down. Pikachu running for his life here. Does have those bottle charges, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to juke hard enough here. He's trying with everything that he's got. They don't have any of those... Oh, the Stiz up there. Pikachu sitting at 7 hit points.
Needs 14 seconds of TP here. He's going to stay at 0 for a long time. Okay, now he's going to start healing.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Not bad.
All right.
Half of his face. He's got a TP into. All right, he ends up barely staying alive. Really nice reactions there by Monaco Gambit. The Spike Carapace reflection on the boat. But yeah, once again, the boat buff just delays all of that damage. And once it comes through, it can't kill you. And that's why he was barely able to survive.
Yeah, that was very, very close indeed. But we are seeing some more pressure being placed now into the bottom lane. Ghost Stick and Slayer hiding in the tree line. You have 3 heroes down with the Cardi Wave. I'll send the Boar out to do a little scouting, but they do see that Tomato over there. Frostbite coming out here from Slayer. Looking here as they get the slow off. Follow up with a nice Impale. Bignum, though, coming in. Is going to try to protect Slayer, but the Ray Fire Blast comes out, and Saneko will get the kill.
One big weakness of the draft is they don't have a Caudle-like hero to stop waves. Well, they did a decent job here, but with the Hellbear Smash up and tanking the tower now, this tower's dead 100%. So this is going to allow Monaco Gambit to just start pressuring the enemy jungle pretty effectively. They still have kind of weak levels on their supports, but their cores are all doing fine with the exception of Afterlife. So Afterlife's goal at this point is just kind of like stabilize, continue to get levels. He'll be able to offset a lot of the push coming from the enemy team because they're basically very summon-based. And then the rest of the Gambit heroes are just going to be pressuring offensively now.
Yeah, he is pretty much the one main form of D-push over on the side of ASM Gambit, so it's going to be important that he's moving around, trying to make sure that these waves don't push in too heavy. It's interesting that we haven't seen much movement, though, coming out from the mid here. So the smoke over into mid lane. You snowball over onto Immersion. Slayer will go down, though, to no one. It's just a bit of a hit and run here.
They almost reacted well, but the Ice Shard's not able to catch the Nyx, and yeah, they just get another kill. Very common at this point when you have underleveled supports for them to stick in one of your mid lanes, for example, while your mid laner's jungle, but CM not able to get too many levels out of this nice moment, unfortunately for her. Still are going for Armlet this game, as is pretty standard at this point, just a lot of damage and armor and all that stuff, but I don't really see him getting active here until he picks it up. He's just not that useful in these early engagements. That's certainly one of the weaknesses of the hero compared to other carries like Juggernaut or Wraith King. Wraith King's in the action getting stuff done right now.
He is. He's got the boys up. There's the Torrent coming out here. Palantimos joining into the fight as well. They're looking for the Impale, but you can't quite find it here. X marks Spark, dragging right back over here onto this Wraith King. That he's still alive. He's going to be able to walk away the shards. No, it'll go and trigger that reincarnation.
All right.
Don't want to go in here though.
He leverages his survivability to just slap the Wraith King and burn a big ultimate. That's over 3 minutes without his ult cooldown, and Just a little rotation like that, even though his damage is weak, it's enough to force them off and buy some time. But still, we're looking at a 2k gold advantage for ASM Gambit, so still kind of scary, even if Underlord's a little shut down.
I was about to say Afterlife probably loved the fact that everybody teleported over to the middle lane. He finally got a moment of peace to actually hit creeps and, you know, get a bit comfortable. But you can see the teleports also coming up here to the top lane. Gonna go and ensure that they get themselves 10-minute runes and perhaps put more pressure on that tower.
Afterlife's not even doing that bad anymore. He's only like 700 gold behind where Lifestealer is, so he's got lots of regen, he's got Soul Ring, Arcane Ring, he's rushing for Vanguard, and very likely going to buy a quick Crimson Guard to deal with all the summons and the right clicks. I mean, when you're dealing with Tag Team, which is just bonus physical damage, it's one way to get that solution. Tried to finish Vanguard, but now he's going to pay for it.
Yeah, they were just all waiting for him here, it feels like. Drop the Pit of Malice, got the Firestorm going, but X marks spot with the Frostbite and a big ol' boat for a big ol' boy. We'll take down Afterlife.
Now, they do get him, but he did buy out. He walked to the camp, bought a Windlace as well. So he actually lost no gold from dying, and this is going to allow his team to now pressure the mid tower with the catapult wave. So not bad at all for him.
It's very good
gold for their opponents, but that's it.
It's very interesting too, the lineup that has the Beastmaster, you know, he's still farming up, still trying to get these items going, but still, yeah, we've got the Necro 1 on. But it seems like the side of Gambit just doing more tower taking, being more aggressive on the map early. A little surprising here. Immersion just waiting patiently. Hey, Palantimos over here though on the side. They will be able to go and get a quick pick off on Slayer. Now, Palantimos forcing out the rage, hops the ride here over into Bignum. They turn around with the roar, and they'll be able to take down no one. Got an X over here on the side, it sounds like. Just gonna drag back the Wraith King. Doesn't feel like he's too worried. You know, he still has a couple seconds left over before that ultimate's gonna be back up, but does have the rest of his team protecting.
It was great considering it looked like they were maybe gonna lose somebody, but that roar with the damage follow-up, Tusk really paying off in that circumstance. Just huge damage amplification. They kill a big hero. Void Spirit's still on the top of the net worth, so it's not terrible, but still a nice, comfortable 2k gold lead for ASM Gambit. Going for Radiance, 1,000 gold from Relic.
Still feels like Unique really would love to put some more pressure on this top tower. Double damage rune is available bottom though, so looks like they'll be able to snap that.
It's just hard to pressure top, basically, based on how Afterlife has been playing. He's spending a lot of time sitting behind his tier 1. He knows that his opponents can kill him, but he knows he can't just be greedy and continue to walk forward and Firestorm creep waves. He's got to be very careful when he does it, and he's got to wait, ideally, until enemies show. Gonna show briefly here, once again juking into the trees. He'll Firestorm this creep wave most likely. But I know he's waiting for rotations from his allies, actually. They actually want to kill Pikachu in this circumstance.
Yeah, no one getting into position. Well, with Immersion. I don't believe they have any vision here. Palantimos, though.
Looking at each other.
Just waving hello to one another. Oh, I see you frequent this part of the jungle as well. No one's just gonna try to finish up, and rest of the team, though, sitting on the low ground, providing that support should they decide to go and initiate on him.
Great place to farm. If there was an engagement, he could easily rotate over to kill Kunko or to help kill Kunko. Doesn't happen, and that's okay. Still hitting creeps in the meantime. Afterlife still accelerating a little bit, going for a hood next. Just wants to massively increase his survivability. That way he is difficult to burst, and therefore he can either save himself if he gets gone on in these circumstances, or can set up for his team. So he's playing great so far, considering the tough lane.
Yep, and he's hightailing it out of here because they've got the smoke. They're being really aggressive coming out from the side of Unique. Do you manage to take the tower? They will run into Afterlife, though. They've got Ghost Stick here, as well as Big Numb. The Roar is going to get used, and they've got a decent amount of damage coming out with the axes, the Necro Book, everything here, but just maybe not enough damage to kill Afterlife this time. Just enough to be a nuisance, but no one joining back into the fight to spy himself Big Numb here. So he'll use that Remnant to get the Astral Step forward. A couple clicks, down he goes. And Ghost Stick now also being caught over here on the side will also fall. So it was a lot of things that they used on that Underlord, and they weren't successful, and the side of Gambit was able to punish them for it.
Yeah, you would think he didn't get ganked, but he actually accidentally ganked himself by building Tranquil Boots. Big mistake there. He bought that Windlace earlier when he diebacked, and then he just brought a piece of his hood over and accidentally made the Tranquil Boots and disassemble it in time. Not usually what you want to do, but hopefully he doesn't want to build Greaves later. But I don't know, it's not that big of a deal, but it hurts when it happens. Always feels bad.
It happens sometimes. Is it griefing, though? Is the question. No.
No, I would not report this person for grief. Only if they built another Tranquilus after this. Then
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. X-Max the Sprout, though, dragging right back over here. Pikachu throwing out the boat. Will connect over here onto the Nyx Assassin. It looks like Immersion is going to fall. Perhaps just a bit too deep there.
All right, they're getting trades. It's fine to get these little these trade-offs if you feel like you're winning the game, and they are slightly. Underlord's still pressuring the top lane, which is great considering the game's circumstances. They're going to move over, want to get this free kill if possible. It's not really free. They have to work for it, that's for sure. All right, now his hit is complete. Now he's really hard to kill.
I was about to say, like, they tried to get the kill earlier on him before he had all these items, and they still were not able to do it. So definitely not a free kill. But no one's just going to play a little bit with Pikachu. Does have the Enchantress nearby. But does feel like they're trying to reclaim their jungle here. No one finding the Crystal Maiden. Slayer just goes down immediately. Ooh, and the tip.
He has died a few times, 0, 5, and 2 right now. Usually doesn't die that much. Generally, I've seen him play pretty effectively on the Crystal Maiden, but it's hard this game. I mean, they basically did an aggressive tri lane. They didn't get that many kills there, so he got a little under leveled. Then he rotated back to the other lanes to try to get stuff done, but there's just a lot of really, relatively tanky, good heroes at fighting and diving on the Gambit side. So it's hard for CM to feel really utilized here in this match at this point. It only kind of gets worse typically for CM as the game goes on.
As a Crystal Maiden player, yes, it absolutely does just get worse. But especially when you see that Void Spirit, he's got that point booster going, working on the Ags.
Yep.
Things will start to get worse when you have a Nyx Assassin hunting you with the follow-up. But the teleports are going out. They don't want to stick around here over in the Radiant jungle. Although no one is playing a little dangerously here. There's multiple people here. But it does feel like, in general, they are just trying to leave.
He brought his team this time, so it's going to be a lot easier to get the D-wards, which is a good way to offset things. Like, they know their opponents are still farming well, but if they just do these occasional D-wards and scout area with Necro 3, then it's going to make it a lot harder for Gambit to play the game. This is the benefit of having a summons here, even though Beastmaster hasn't performed quite as well as Afterlife on the Underlord has.
Mid,
if
yeah.
they get this grab.
You have to be really fast with it.
It's like, you basically have to lead with Roar or you're not going to catch him.
Well, they were
You can
smoked out.
easily... Yeah, but like, he's going to see us. What else catches him? They're going to snowball him. He's going to jump away. He could Yules himself. He has Dissimulate. He has so many outs. He has to get like Roar into killed. It's like the only way that works out. And they didn't have vision ahead of time since it's nighttime. Low chance of getting that kill. So good for no one to evade it, but kind of hopeful there by Unique. Did you spot out Afterlife? Not the guy they want to kill necessarily, but...
I have to say, they've been trying to gank this boy a couple times now, and they have not been successful.
I just know it would take too much, and worst case he casts Dark Rift anyways and gets out, so difficult to engage. But I mean, everyone's still farming relatively good. The 3K advantage has been static this last like 5 or 10 minutes, so they're not getting more behind at least. And they still have a really strong team fight, really good damage amp. They're going to have Necro advantage for the course of the game, so there's lots of upsides to them.
Is this a draft, though, coming out from the side of Unique that really needs to get, snowballing early?
They don't have to. It definitely can help. But, they've got decent team fight as the game continues. Here comes the fight.
The step forward, they use the double damage. Follow up with the boat. It's a beautiful Pit of Malice, though, holding 3 of them into place with the snowball, buying them just a little bit more time. So go right back in again. The Infest Bomb popping out. Crystal Maiden getting the ulti off over on the back end here. Do they have enough damage to take down Ghost Stick? They're looking to see what else they can do. They finally managed to take down Slayer. Did have a lot of armor here, as now the Enchantress chipping away. Palantimos goes down. Bignum running for his life over here. I don't think they have anything to quite grab him, though, at this time. Out of Astral Steps over on that Void Spirit. So Bignum is going to make it out, but was costly over on the side of Unique. Great smoke coming out from the side of ASM Monaco Gambit.
Felt like Unique just wasn't ready for that one. I mean, they basically had 3 heroes hitting the tower, and as a result, it just made everybody's AoEs on the Gambit side so much more effective. Like, Nyx's Impale there, like a quarter of the way through the fight, hit like almost every single enemy hero. Nyx Assassin is just pulling his weight at this point. Like, he's very effective against Kunkka. The boat's going to get reflected. He's going to do some other stuns on enemy heroes. But basically, Beastmaster was just too out of position. He got focus, Tuss did a great job buying them some time with that defensive snowball back to safety away from the Pit of Malice, but at that point, everyone was just too low and they had to use abilities on less than ideal targets. Ghostic eventually settling on Roaring the Underlord, but that's not how you win the fight. You got to kill like Void Spirit first or something like that, or pick off the supports and then deal with the tanky guys.
Well, they're making moves over here onto Pikachu. Got the Pit of Malice right on the edge here. They'll go use the whip as well. They'll slow him even more coming out here from Snako. He's tossing out some of the impetus, but not going to be able to take down the Kunkka.
A little scary, but with the halberd up, he's relatively survivable, at least for now. Lifestealer's damage jumping up again. He's got Deso. He was thinking about Maelstrom earlier, but has changed his mind. Deso generally really good against tanky heroes because they have so much HP that minus armor is going to amplify what you and everybody else does, helps offset this, and he's just going to take the tower. Like, this is a safe way for them to take towers, not for their whole team to slap it together in a close grouping. And now it looks like they want to go for a Roche. With Deso and tag team, it's going to go fast here, and Beastmaster.
Gambit
It'll
making
slow
their
down
way
now.
over, but it doesn't feel like they're quite ready to get in there fast enough. I don't think they're going to be able to do it. I think this Roche totally belongs to Society Unique.
Yeah, that was really quick. Tag team
They throw
accelerated
the
things, but it's over.
Boat comes out over onto Afterlife. Again, he's a big tanky boy. Immersion trying to get into position here, looking for the perfect impale. Does manage to land on two of them as they take down Bignum. Rest of the team is here. Good roar coming out. Buys a little bit of time here for Palantimos. Does go down. Pikachu next to fall. No one just chasing everybody around here. Finding the opening. Looks like he finds himself a Slayer. Snako will clean up that kill. And now Palantimos, he's left all alone. He doesn't have anyone else from his team. The body blocks the big chonky boy, putting that dump truck in the way. And down he goes. It's a triple kill now for no one.
Afterlife just basically owning the game there. They take the Aegis and they take Roche, so they get some gold advantage there, but they started the fight in a bit of a weak way. They had to go on Underlord. He was the one guy that was up there in the front, but he tanked for a very long time, ended up staying survivable. And after that, they'd used all their combos just to damage Underlord. And they all started HP a little low. This makes things harder, of course, but here's the combo on Afterlife. They go in, they pull him back, but his hood gets popped, they go for the damage, and then finally the follow-up is going to buy him some time and make up more than a difference here with Lifestealer dying early as well. So, like, I'm not even seeing Wraith King get into these fights. He's showing up a little bit late, and they're still crushing these engagements. So this looks pretty rough for Unique now.
I just think it's hilarious when you watch the first time that Palantimos go down, you know? You just see Snako's little spear just like, pew, going in. Taking down the Aegis.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
All right, smoke up over on the side here of Gambit. 10k net worth lead now at 22 minutes. Gonna lead with Mr. Wraith King here. He's got the Radiance turned off. They're on the hunt. Immersion. Creeping his way over here. Who are they gonna find? Oh, Palantimos would be a great target for them.
Yeah, they could definitely chain stun him here.
Look at
With
this.
Blink on Wraith King now.
They're hiding. They'll find Bignum though. First one has a snowball, but they're still hunting over on the back lines. They'd love to get them. They find themselves a 2-for-1 here. They find themselves a Beastmaster. They'll find themselves Palantimos. They already took down Bignum. This is a disaster here for Unique. The tips are coming out. So Wraith King gets himself a double kill.
They're just ready to fight constantly now. Their lineup's ready to go in all ways. They've got Ags on Void Spirit. He's got a plate mail to protect him against the Lifestealer. It just feels like Unique can't get any kills at this point. They can't easily kill Void Spirit because they don't really have great heroes for it. Kunkka is not a good like mid-game matchup against him. Again, it has to be like Roar into follow-up. CM's really behind 0-7 and 2. Like Frostbite would have been useful, but now no one has Yules for the last like 10 minutes. So it's like, just feels like their laning stage didn't go nearly as good as they thought it was going to. And as a result, now they're just getting crushed in these engagements. 12k gold advantage now for ASM Gambit.
And it does say something about, you know, Afterlife's tenacity, the fact that he just really had a very uncomfortable lane the entire time, right? But he stuck with it, stayed in the lane. It's not especially, you know, exciting to be playing Underlord, especially when you can't even leave your lane, but it paid off. He's now got the items that are necessary to be that frontliner, like you said, and just absorb all of this damage, and then eventually, you know, no one cleans up, and it's followed up with the Wraith King, as he usually shows up towards the tail end of the fight. It's really quite impressive.
Now he's just moving around with his team constantly. Wraith King will be the one that pushes side lanes, so he can do it a little bit faster. And they want these teamfight items with Underlord anyways. in case there is an engagement. So the power of Nyx is really showing itself at this point of the game with their advantage. Unique is moving around. They're going to have this DD, but smoke breaks.
Yeah, they'll
That's
jump
maybe-
forward. They found themselves Pikachu, good and pale. They also step forward here, and they should be able to blow up. No, he's got the BKB. He's going to buy himself just a little bit more time. Palantimos, he doesn't want to be here anymore, but he changes his mind. He decides to stay a little bit longer. They can turn this back around. They can get a kill on no one. Now they're just still going forward, though. I don't know about this Palantimos. I think you just walked up to your death, and indeed he did. Over on the side now, too. Underlord throwing down the Pit of Malice, holding the Crystal Maiden into place. Does have that Yules here going forward. Still rooted up, they'll turn around, and they've got plenty of detection. Both of the sentries getting dropped just so they can kill Slayer.
Well, it looked kind of good. I mean, it looked like instantly the Kunkka was going to die, but great play by Palantimos on the lifestealer. He ends up infesting the Kunkka to give him 400 HP. So that bought him some time, gave him some opportunity to get a kill for first time in a while, but... Wait, did we have 420 or did we not have 420?
I don't know.
Double check the... I believe we did. No, we didn't. We went to 5 before we got 20. That's too bad. Huge deal. Big loss.
Thanks, Purge. Well, perhaps just a bit too greedy coming out from the side of Unique, like we said. Yeah, the kill on no one, really nice, big deal, but they kept charging up, and they went up into the high ground into 3 heroes with Palantimos. So, a bit rough there.
I think we're certainly seeing like the advantage of having an Underlord against Lifestealer a bit. Like Lifestealer's damage, like Lifestealer's hard to kill this game, but ASM Gambit just ignored him pretty much entirely for the whole early portion of the game. And now when they take team fights, they have heroes that aren't very vulnerable to him. Wraith King a little bit, but the other cores, like Wraith King just ignores him. He goes somewhere else in the fight. And now they're going high ground.
Yeah, they're feeling
nice timing.
Very powerful considering that they don't have an Aegis or anything like that. It's gonna
Kunkka
is just gonna spend a lot of time in the area. He does pop that BKB though. They'll turn their attention now over to the Wraith King, but again, he's pretty difficult to just chonk away at. Doesn't feel like they have that damage right now. Step forward here. Over onto Kunkka, drawing him back. Wraith King sitting a little bit low on the back lines, and Palantimos is just frantically hitting creeps. Jump forward, though, again here over onto the Kunkka. Pikachu is just obliterated now. So they throw out the tips. Big no. All right, Frostbite does come out. Palantimos, he's joining back into the fight. He's trying to see if he can just take down the Wraith King, but he's got another life here. It's going to be so difficult. The Rage comes out from Palantimos. They just can't do anything against this crew right now.
They can't. Really nice itemization. Yep. I mean, they've lost every fight convincingly in the last couple engagements. Now they've itemized perfectly for shutting down their opponents. This Yule Scepter picked up that Afterlife just got